What up, Instagram and YouTube? It's your boy Salty Redcorn. I'm back with another ill-prepared knife review video. Part of my appearance today. I've had a rough day. I woke up this morning at 6 a.m. to the ceiling in my living room collapsing. It had collected a bunch of water in the air handler above. Didn't know what was going on, and it filled the ceiling with water and fell to the ground. I had to clean it all up, go to work. Just getting home right now. I am going to be tearing my entire living room apart, and I'm going to be redoing the ceiling. Probably going to change a couple things while I'm in there. So we're going to cover that a little bit on my shorts. If you guys watch my shorts, go check them out. But right now, I got some reviews to knock out, and I want to talk about the Arcform Slim Foot. This is a Tuff knife design, and this thing's pretty cool. So first things first, we have a 3.5 inch M390 blade with a satin finish. We have a long fuller here that gives you a nice place to pull it out. And it has this kind of unmistakable sheep's foot style blade with a really nicely ground, hollow ground, full swedging all the way down to the tip even. Minimal branding on the blade. We have the arcform, and then we have the Tuff knives on the back side. Really good action. It runs on bearings. It is a titanium frame lock. Surprise, surprise. Titanium frame lock. We have nice chamfering and knockdown edges all the way around, but it's very angular. All right. That kind of goes along with the look that this knife has. It's a very angular knife. We have a thin strip of marbled or fat carbon, red fat carbon here. As far as I know, this is not an exclusive. You guys can go pick this up. I saw this one on Blade HQ. We have a pretty neat backspacer, something you don't see every day. There's a milled line along with lots of fine machine jimping that looks really, really good. And it actually feels good in hand as well. The knife is just a little bit off center, but that's kind of inherent with frame locks. You're going to see that because the blade, the lock bar is actually pushing against the blade. Very few frame locks are truly dead center. And this is close enough for me. It looks great. Also, we have a milled pocket clip. It's not deep carry, but it works well. And then it says Arcform here. I kind of wish it didn't say that. The knife is pretty minimal as it is, and they stamped Arcform just so people know what you have in your pockets. And 99% of people aren't knife people, so they're not going to see that, right? Or care. But for those who do know, you'll know that this is a pretty cool knife. The lockup's about, I don't know, 45%. So plenty of life left there. It's nice and sturdy. This is a thick lock bar, and we have some really nice relief cutting. I always like when they do really good relief cuts on a lock bar. It's just something that I look for in design. I like this heavily scooped out. Well, what's cool about it is it continues into the actual frame itself. Yeah, you can see a little bit there. So they didn't have to do that. And it looks like they kind of plunged in with a long bit and made it really nice. Good hardware in here. T8 all the way around. Kind of a pivot is an attempt to look cool, but it's kind of meh. Not really super stoked about that, but I think a really nice kind of flat one would have even looked better, in my opinion. But that's neither here nor there. Good sharpening choil, or, you know, kind of termination of the blade grind. It looks good. I do like how we have satin going both ways on this blade. So that's just another little added detail that you don't see too often. What else can I say about this? This thing is solid. It's not lightweight. It's heavy, especially being for titanium. These are solid. They're not milled out. They have no internal milling. And I like that. I think that makes the knife very heavy duty and kind of aids to a hard use knife. You can say that's what it is. Ergonomically, it's pretty good. It's very kind of just, like I said, it's a very angular knife, but it has a good ergonomic feel because of that fact, right? Knives don't always have to be curvy to be ergonomic. This has hard lines, but it feels good in the hand, all right? Due to many different factors, one being just the plain shape with this finger choil that locks you in, Also the angular chamfering on the top of the blade, like I mentioned before. And just the overall shape. It feels good in hand. Feels really good for some push cuts. It feels good for utility cuts. Just the slightest amount of belly on the blade. So I have a feeling you'd be able to do some good food prep if this was just going to be your one and done knife. I really like the subtle chamfering here, and that makes a place. It's not a choil, but you can definitely put your finger up on it. And the reason I think it's secure is because the flipper tab jimping is there to keep you locked in. No worry about slipping off on that. Like I said, the action is very good. We have an internal stop pin there right back here. And okay, we have a lock bar insert as well. Stainless steel lock bar insert. So that's going to make sure that everything is nice and sturdy, right? We like to see the lock bar insert. Sometimes you don't need it. I've heard Sal Glesser talk about it, how sometimes it's needed, sometimes it's not. I think it's really just a nice added feature. All right, we can come to expect that now in 2023 with how far we've come with knife manufacturing. You can kind of come to expect that, in my opinion, personally. Polished hardware. Overall, it's really nice. All right, I haven't checked the price on this, but I'm sure it's not exactly super cheap, but it's most likely around the $300 range. You guys can just Google it and find out yourselves, and you probably can find different prices at different distributors. All right, the usual suspects are going to have it. Blade HQ, probably Smoky Mountain Knife Works has some sort of variant of this. DLT. M390 was probably a good blade choice for something like this. I'm sure the knife was manufactured in China. If I'm wrong, you can yell at me in the comments, and that's fine. These are ill-prepared knife reviews, as usual, all right? So I have a lot of work to do. I got to go inside and dismantle my entire living room, top to bottom, and get this stuff fixed. Let's put this knife down and go over my carry. I've been wearing this Casio for a million years now. I absolutely love this thing. It's not an expensive watch. It tells me all the information I need, and it's minimalist looking. Mammoth Headwear, Mountain Trucker Hat. If you have a fat head, go to their website. Use the code SALTY10 or Salty Redcorn. Salty Redcorn for 10% off. And I guarantee if you have a fat head, this is probably the best hat you've ever worn in your entire life throughout the universe. All right. And my knife today is the Spyderco Little Native in Rex 45. Fantastic knife. I have a titanium back scale and a G10 front scale just because I like to be a little bit different. Okay. A pencil from Lowe's and T25 Torx bit and some trim screws. That's going to do it for me today, guys. If you like this kind of video, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, tell your boy Salty Redcorn what you want to see. Here's a little secret for you. I just hit 1,000 subscribers, so I have a giveaway coming up. I'm putting it together, but I'm not going to release it until it's good, all right? So hit the subscribe button, tell your boy Salty Redcorn what you want to see. Until next time, stay fresh, stay sharp, and peace out.